Well, hey, bae. It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another quick chat. Today on the quick chat, I want to talk to you guys about the Real Housewives of Atlanta after show. Okay. Now, Kenya speaks on Marlo not wanting her to join them at the gym mining situation. Y'all saw the episode because Marlo was really upset with the fact that, one, Kenya wasn't sure whether or not she was going to stay the night with the ladies. So then Kenya, of course, made the decision to stay the night because she had her bags and things in the car. So once Marlo found out that, Miss Kenya was in the building, girl, she wanted her to have a personal conversation with her one-on-one. And, of course, Miss Kenya was opposed to that. So Marlo really got pissed off because it seems like Kenya was blowing her over. Kenya wasn't giving her the attention that she deserved, and I guess you could say the respect too, because Marlo really wanted to be seen by Miss Kenya, so much so that she actually wanted to give her a hug. And Kenya was like, girl, I'm good, you could back up off me. No, we're good, honey, you can back up off me. I'm good. I'm not in a rush to have a conversation with you. We'll talk when we talk. So of course Miss Marlo did not like the fact that she was being played to the left, because to me, I really feel like Marlo searches for the approval and validation from Miss Kenya for some reason. And because she wasn't giving or getting the energy that she wanted from Miss Kenya, she decided to let her know, like, oh, girl, if you don't come over here and have a conversation with me, then you can't join us at the gym mining, okay? You can't come along. Now, at first it was, oh, you can't stay tonight, and if you don't stay tonight, you can't participate in any of the festivities that we do. But then now you over here don't even want to talk to me, girl. You can't come along to the gym mining. I already told you, even if you are here and you are going to stay over, you're not having a conversation with me, so you can't stay. Okay, so that's the energy Marlo was giving. Now Miss Kenya says that Marlo was running out of things to attack her with. Y'all know Miss Marlo love trying to come for the body. Okay, she throws Mr. Mark in her face. Okay, she's thrown around the booty comment. So after a while, it does feel like when you get talked about, when it's the same things that a person keeps bringing to you over and over, it's like, okay, and what else you got? You saying that so many times, so what else you got? So it seems like when those things were not working with Kenya, according to Kenya, that's when Marlo started to get into her personal space, and that began to be a problem for her. Now, meanwhile, what's interesting is I'm watching the Real Housewives after show. Kenya is doing her scene sitting next to Sheree. Sheree's face was very comical to me because Sheree looked like she was in complete disagreement with what Miss Kenya was saying, but she didn't combat her or call her out or say anything. And for me, I find that to be very funny because you'll sit up there and talk about Kenya, in my opinion, like a dog, or at least allow somebody else to talk about Kenya like a dog and agree with them, but then you sit in her face and you can't tell her, like, Kenya, girl, now come on. Okay, you ain't gotta be like real rude with yours or anything, but you can at least come off like Miss Candy, like, girl, come on now, Kenya. Now you know you was going too far. Like, you ain't say none of that, but it was interesting because we saw the disagreement on your face. But anyway, Marlo doesn't like that she wasn't being acknowledged, as I told y'all, okay, and says that the proper etiquette would have been Kenya actually approaching her since she was the host. And I do kind of understand what Marlo is saying, but then at the same time, I feel like if Kenya doesn't want to have a one-on-one conversation with you, but still open to a conversation, then some part of me is like, then be okay with the conversation being in front of everybody else. Because even when Kenya was like, I mean, if you want to talk, you can talk in front of the ladies. You already know our conversations typically go sideways, so why do I have to be in your face and talk to you? Girl, one-on-one. Why don't we just have this conversation in front of everybody? And obviously, I guess Miss Marlo didn't want that. What it was that Miss Marlo wanted her way, and she wasn't seeming to get that. Yikes. Now, Candy did feel like Kenya was coming to stay, right? And doing what Marlo pretty much asked her to do, like, which was coming to stay. So she was like, she was going to do that. But Marlo was the one that added another stipulation. As I mentioned earlier, she added another stipulation by saying, come and have a conversation with me one-on-one. So she didn't understand why Marlo tried to make it a bigger deal when Kenya said, okay, we can have the conversation, but I just don't want to have the conversation one-on-one. But one thing Miss Candy gonna do, for real, she gonna ride for Miss Kenya, as we see. Now, she gonna check her friend, but she also gonna be on her friend's side, is what it's giving me. And I can't say that I'm mad at that, okay? So there's that. Now, the thing that really got me as I watched the show, the latest episode, as well as the after show, y'all, it was Sanya for me. It was Miss Sanya for me, pretty much co-signing everything that Marlo had to say. She even went on to say that Kenya said that she had Brooklyn with her, but we never saw Brooklyn. And I said, oh, wow. So just because you didn't see Brooklyn, you feel as though Brooklyn wasn't there? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Just it's making me think about how people feel like if they don't see it on Instagram, if you don't post it, then it didn't happen. Like, what? Just because you didn't see her daughter don't mean she wasn't there. Like last year when they went to South Carolina, like I cannot recall whether or not I saw baby Brooklyn, but we all definitely knew that she was there. The only thing was she got Brooklyn in a whole different home because obviously Kenya made it an issue last season. So I don't think Miss Kenya's gonna like what you had to say there, Miss Sanya. Now, Kenya does speak on Marlo giving the boys up, so that does become a conversation. Kenya kind of goes down the timeline of how it happened for her, and when she heard about it, it was a really soft spot for her. She felt like the actions of Marlo was cruel because it can make a kid feel like they're unwanted. You know what I'm saying? Or like they're the problem or that they did something wrong. And I can imagine that, especially with Marlo always throwing in our face how much of a foster child she was. You would think that she's able to relate to the emotions of her nephews, knowing that they mama pretty much acted however she acted, which resulted in them getting snatched up from her. Her not being considerate of them enough to even want to enter into some type of rehab program. You would think that Marlo would understand what the kids are going through because they are probably feeling like they are a bit unwanted. You know what I'm saying? I understand Marlo being a Muncie and this is her first time having to deal with this, but she also talked about raising her sister now. You know what I'm saying? But I understand she's not a mama and everything, but at the end of the day, some part of me is like, okay, think of the kids' feelings as well. Like I know you got your feelings, so maybe you need to take a step away. Maybe you need to go on you a little vacation instead of like kicking them all the way out the house and stuff, girl, for a full 30 days. So like, and probably longer, honey, we don't know. So I just felt like a little bit, I mean, put your feelings to the side because you acting like you going through a lot, but look at these kids and everything they have to go through and the life adjustments that they have to make. You feel what I'm saying? So I wasn't really featuring Miss Girl on that. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But Marlo says that Kenya never checks on the boys while she's acting like she's so concerned. She's like, Kenya ain't never called to check on my nephew. She ain't never brought them nothing. She hasn't done anything for them. So I don't even know why she made it seem like it was a big deal and that it bothered her so much, because if it bothered her so much, then she would be looking out, checking on them. Hey, I'm over here by Chick-fil-A. Y'all want something to eat? And Kenya never did that. But I don't know. I was thinking, Marlo, do you do that? But Marlo did say in the after show that she would do that for Kenya and for Brooklyn. If she sees something that Brooklyn may like or whatever, she'll get it or whatnot. Okay, so that's where Marlo was coming from with it. But what was interesting that also stuck out to me, guys, was recently, you know, Marlo home was almost burglarized. Okay, or at least there was an attempted robbery on her home. Somebody kicked down the door, but she and her nephew that was in the home made it to a panic room. The person ran, or the people ran. Eventually, I believe they could have been caught later. Marlo says the authorities told them to not say anything, right? Don't mention the incident to anybody. Like, don't say anything. But Kenya came to social media and felt the way about it. Felt like Marlo was fake as hell for not giving them further details that's going to help them out. And the reason why I'm bringing that back up is because Marlo mentioned how Kenya and she stay 5 minutes apart from each other. So Kenya could have easily come by her home and dropped something off for the kids. So I thought that to be very interesting, which is making me think about Kenya going off like, girl, you could have gave me more of a heads up, gave me a little more inside details to protect me and my family. But you didn't want to do that. But according to Marlo, she was abiding by what the authorities told her. But she went on to do an entire news story, okay, speaking out about said incident over there down to the TV for everybody to see. But you ain't tell your good homegirls what was going on. So much so that Miss Future's baby mama had to hop out there and pretty much get Miss Kenya together, because she was obviously feeling away, because she says that the authorities told me not to tell, told us not to tell people, including you. So I was a little confused, because 1 minute y'all saying that Kenya was supposedly notified, and then in the same sentence, Miss Girl turned around and said, oh, well, the authorities told us not to tell you. So which one was it? And why are you having access to messages that ain't got nothing to do with you? So Marlo, you out here sharing messages with people with what we're talking about in our private group chat? This woman ain't no housewife. Excuse me? She's not a part of the crew or the clique, and you out here exposing text messages? Noted. Okay, noted. Yikes. But I just wanted to bring that into play because, it's just real interesting for me. But let's keep going, okay? Now, speaking of authorities, Kenya also talked about how Marlo said that she was gonna call the authorities on Kenya. Okay, when she showed up to the house, or if she didn't stay the night and showed over to the house and wanted to, participate in certain activities and stuff like that, she was gonna call the authorities. And I'm like, what? So then Sheree is like, girl, what the authorities finna do? What they finna do? And Kenya's like, well, I guess she was gonna call him and try and say that I was trespassing, but I'm trying to figure out if she's the owner or the renter of said property for her to even kick me off as though, I'm trespassing. So that just for me was giving more confirmation that Marlo didn't pay for this trip. It must have been production that paid for the trip and not Marlo, which is why Kenya was saying, girl, you didn't rent this property nor do you own it for you to kick me off of it. And in addition to that, Kenya also referenced the trucks. Like, you act like you paid for these trucks or whatever for you to kick me out of. That's why Kenya said so comfortably in there in the truck, because obviously the network, the production, or whoever purchased these trucks. So wow, at least that's what it was given to me. Okay, now mind you, Miss Sheree didn't really agree with Miss Kenya on a lot of things. She didn't say a whole lot, but she did end up coming to the defense of Miss Marlo, saying she knows that Marlo loves her nephews and everything. And Kenya said, girl, I have no doubt that she loves them. Like, that's not my question. That's not in question whether or not she loves her nephews. I'm sure, just like my family loved me, I'm sure of that. But at the end of the day, she was foul as hell for putting them out. And I really wanted one of them to say, or at least I wanted Kenya to follow up and say, and she was foul as hell for putting us out the same way she put her damn nephews out of that home. Okay, hello? Okay, that's what I wanted somebody to say, but ain't nobody say it. But anyway, when it came down to it with Fatum and Sheree and stuff, Sheree says that Drew was looking for a moment. So y'all know when Drew was supposed to be getting in the car and Marlo was like, get in the car with us, and she's like, no, I'm not getting in the car with this BIT. I don't like this woman. Like, I'm not gonna get in the car. So then, of course, Fatum started to go a little crazy. Obviously, Fatum was doing too much because Candy and Manyetta looked at Fatum and said, get in the car, girl, because she was just putting 20 on 10. Okay? So then, of course, Sheree says, Drew was looking for a moment. I guess she thought that Fatum was gonna be quiet and she was gonna sit down. She wasn't gonna say anything. I don't think Drew thought that at all. She done already met the lady twice, and she's been loudmouth. So I don't think Drew thought that she wasn't gonna say anything. I think Drew knew she was gonna say something because she's been out here looking for a moment, while you're saying that Drew is the one looking for a moment. How is Drew looking for a moment when she's already a part of the moment? Your friend is the one coming on to the show for me, so that would make Miss Fatum the one looking for the moment, in my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? And I just find it so funny because people are over here saying, like, go watch Candy speak on it. And I went to go watch the speak on it with Fatum, and it wasn't giving me anything. It didn't change my perspective or anything about Fatum or nothing, just for me. She says she don't really need the show. She's been approached to be a part of the show. She hasn't really wanted to do the show, but because she just became friends with Sheree a few years ago, back in 2019, the opportunity came up, and so she decided to, come on out here and be a part of whatever the case is. But she said that she doesn't really need to be on it. And it's like, girl, bye. That's what you say. But when those cameras are around and the cameras are on you, you definitely look for a moment. Because I feel like somebody that's not looking to be on this show, don't have to be on this show, is Manyetta. Manyetta plays her role very smoothly, in my opinion. She's not loud mouthing. At this point, we don't see it. We haven't seen her get into it with anybody. She is truly being a friend of the show, in my opinion. Ma'am, you're out here reaching to see if you could get a piece of a peach, Miss Fatum. Like, that's what it's giving to me. Okay? Meanwhile, Manyetta minding her business. She may do what a friend does. Like, hey, what's the issue with you and Kenya? Da, 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 da. Or what a woo woo. Okay? She may pop in like that, but she not over here running no damn background checks and then trying to make it seem like the other person, the homeboy or your business partner that you were talking to, he just randomly decided to pull it. Girl, bye. You went to him for a reason. You also said in that interview that he does this, like that's his job, right? So when you went to him and you was complaining, you knew exactly what he was going to do with that anyway, because he's probably done it before, where he's pulled up a soft report of somebody's background check. You know what I'm saying? While you're talking about it's public record. Yeah, it's public record, but still you went to go search for that public record, right? So you wanted some tea on her and you knew exactly who to go to. And then now Drew over here handling you and she threw your ass a bone. Because obviously, in my opinion, that's what you were searching for. So you get this bone and she told you to suck on that. I screamed. I loved it. I enjoyed it. So who was really looking for a moment here? Because even when Marlo was speaking on herself and what she's going through and how she's feeling, you made that moment about you and what you were going through, and you wanted to apologize, but then saying people just get me to this place and this and that. And it's like, girl, it ain't even about you. Just apologize. Say my apology for contributing to anything that may have made you feel whatever in a negative space. Like, girl, that's all you had to say, but you went down this whole rabbit hole about your damn self. So yeah, no, you were definitely looking for a moment, and it ain't nothing that you could tell me about not wanting to really be a part of the show because you were approached for it. Girl, you here now. So if you didn't want to be a part of it, number one, you still would not. And then number two, now that you got the opportunity, you wouldn't be so loud and vocal as you are doing the absolute most. Oh, child, I cannot, honey. Listen, I just wanted to come to you guys real quick regarding the after show over there with Real Housewives of Atlanta and just a touch of speak on it, girl. Y'all let me know you all's overall thoughts regarding everything that I just discussed today on the quick chat, honey. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.